The estate sale held the promise of hidden treasures, and among them, Sarah's gaze was drawn to an alluring antique mirror. Its silver frame, adorned with intricate patterns, seemed to whisper of forgotten times. Enchanted by its beauty, Sarah acquired the mirror without realizing the malevolence it harbored. Little did Sarah know that this seamlessly innocuous antique held a malevolent secret, a darkness that waited to be unleashed. As the mirror found its place in Sarah's apartment, the first cracks in its benign facade began to appear. Late at night, when the world outside slumbered, the mirror awakened with a sinister energy. Eerie whispers reverberated through the room, and the glass seemed to shimmer with an otherworldly glow. It wasn't long before the reflections in the mirror transformed into grotesque images, distorted faces contorted in pain, and shadows that move independently of any light source. Sarah, initially dismissing them as tricks of her imagination, soon found herself trapped in a nightmare of demonic apparitions. The mirror, it seemed, held a malevolent force within its glassy depths. It reveled in tormenting Sarah, each night plunging her deeper into a maelstrom of horror. Whispers turned into chilling commands, urging her to surrender to her deepest fears. Sleep became elusive, replaced by the ever-escalating terror within her own home. Desperate for answers, Sarah embarked on a journey to uncover the mirror's dark history. Through dusty archives and obscure texts, she unearthed a tale of an occultist who had harnessed the mirror to summon demonic entities. The mirror, a portal to the netherworld, absorbed the tortured souls of those who gazed into it. Determined to break the curse, Sarah sought the guidance of a seasoned paranormal expert, Dr. Michael Harrow, a scholar of the supernatural. He soon became her ally in unraveling the mysteries concealed within the antique mirror. Together, they delved deep into the mirror's dark history, piecing together the tale of the occultist who harnessed its power. The bond between Sarah and Dr. Harrow grew stronger as they faced the malevolent forces that sought to torment them. Night after night, they confronted the demonic visions together. Their shared determination to overcome the darkness forged a connection that transcended the paranormal. As they worked to decipher the ancient incantations needed to sever the mirror's connection to the malevolent forces, Sarah and Dr. Harrow found solace in each other's company. Their shared experiences became a testament to the resilience of the human spirit against the encroaching shadows. However, the mirror, a malevolent puppet master, sensed the growing camaraderie between Sarah and Dr. Harrow. Azazel, the ancient demon trapped within, seized the opportunity to exploit their emotional connection. The whispers grew more insidious, painting a twisted narrative that Dr. Harrow was the key to breaking the curse. One night, as they performed a ritual to weaken the demonic forces within the mirror, Azazel's voice emitted a chilling, yet sympathetic tone, its words reverberating through the room like a siren's song. His tale of liberation promised that Dr. Harrow's sacrifice was the final step in breaking the mirror's curse. Sarah, unaware of the demon's trap, believed that she possessed the power to save both herself and her newfound companion. With a determined glint in her eye, she unsheathed the knife with a single-minded purpose: to trick the demon and bring about its demise. The ritual reached its climax, and in the moment of vulnerability, Azazel whispered to Sarah that the only way to free Dr. Harrow was to strike him down with the cursed dagger. The room trembled with an otherworldly energy as Sarah, believing she was slaying the demon, found herself faced with an unthinkable choice. Torn between her loyalty to her friend and the desperate need to end the nightmare, Sarah's heart raced as she hesitated. Dr. Harrow, oblivious to the demonic deception, bellowed at her to stab the demon and break the nightmarish cycle. The shadows in the room seemed to swallow her as the air grew thick with the oppressive darkness that pressed down on her. The tension in the room was palpable, as if the walls were closing in on her, and Sarah's mind raced with conflicting emotions. Fear and uncertainty warred with determination and courage. Sweat beaded on her forehead as she steeled her resolve and lifted the knife, ready to end the nightmare. With her eyes blazing and her heart pounding, Sarah raised the dagger. The air was so still, the only sound was the insidious whispers of Azazel, now certain of its wretched accomplishment. As the blade descended, Sarah experienced a moment of clarity. Looking into the mirror, she beheld not a demon, but the horrified visage of Dr. Harrow. The dagger struck, and a blood-curdling shriek reverberated through the room. The mirror seemed to pulse with energy, lapping up the shockwaves of the ghastly deed. The shadows writhed with malicious glee as the demonic force within the glass surged. Energized by the unwitting martyr, Azazel's figure gave way to that of Dr. Harrow. Dr. Harrow, now crumpled on the floor, gasped for breath. The room, still suspended in a surreal moment, quivered with the weight of the betrayal. The bond that had once united Sarah and Dr. Harrow against the darkness shattered like the mirror of the glass. Sarah stared in horror at the consequences of her actions. The demonic force, now free from its glassy prison, coiled around Dr. Harrow's lifeless form. The room, stripped of its supernatural aura, bore witness to the irreversible tragedy that had unfolded. Azazel, now liberated, materialized into a grotesque form. It laughed triumphantly, thanking Sarah for her unwitting cooperation. The apartment, forever changed by the darkness that had been unleashed, felt emptier than ever before. In the aftermath, the shattered mirror reflected the fractured remnants of a once promising alliance. The shards, like jagged memories, carried the essence of the malevolent force that had been set free. The antique market, unknowingly harboring the remnants of Azazel's curse, continued its cycle of manipulation and malevolence as the shards found their way into the hands of unsuspecting victims. Sarah, left to confront the haunting reality of her actions, found herself bound to the mirror's dark legacy. The once charming antique market had unwittingly passed the mirror onto the next unsuspecting victim, perpetuating a cycle of manipulation and malevolence. The shadows persisted, whispering of a cursed reflection that lingered in every glint of glass, waiting to claim its next victim. The tale of Sarah and Dr. Harrow became a cautionary saga, a dark reflection of the consequences of bargaining with forces beyond human comprehension. In the end, the antique mirror, now devoid of demonic influence, stood as a silent witness to the eternal dance between light and shadow, a dance that continued undeterred by the shattered remnants of a once beautiful reflection. The bond between Sarah and Dr. Harrow, now severed by the dagger of betrayal, lingered like a ghostly echo in the haunted corridors of their shared past.